Just bring us up to speed on, once again, what has been happening on the ground in Lebanon. More airstrikes in the last 24 hours. Hezbollah confirming that yet another senior military commander has also been killed.
Yes, good morning. So we saw yesterday Israel carrying out more airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in South Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. And the death toll continues rising there, about over 500 people killed and thousands of injuries. Now, this is becoming a burden, of course, on a country that's still reeling from its worst economic crisis since 2019. And the government really doesn't have enough funds to face this or the infrastructure necessary. So we saw people still leaving and fleeing the airstrikes in the south and the Bekaa Valley. Some of them have actually crossed into Syria. Some maybe have family members there, or just setting up tents to stay along the border. We saw that the government had opened up about 250 schools and other government buildings to house what they say are about 26,000 people who have left. And these are only the registered. There are still people stuck actually on the road. Yesterday, we saw someone saying that they've been on the road from South Lebanon to Beirut for about 17 hours. The road leading to Beirut, the big highway, is very much jammed. So this is becoming a humanitarian catastrophe for Lebanon as well. And we saw this morning that there was a missile strike in the center of Tel Aviv, and that is huge news. And it seems Hezbollah is now upping and ramping up its own strikes. Yesterday, they fired about 16 separate attacks on Israel. They say it's military targets, but what we're seeing is sirens were sounding in civilian areas in northern Israel.
Yeah, Dana, let me pick up on that, because this was quite significant breaking news that came out just in the last half an hour. For viewers who are not up to speed, the IDF has said that they have intercepted a missile from Lebanon following Tel Aviv sirens. So, Dan, just give us this perspective from Israel and how the military will be viewing this, because I believe it is the first time that there has been some missile directed towards Tel Aviv since the beginning of this war in Gaza.
Yes, good morning. That would be correct. This will certainly be viewed by Israel potentially as a red line that could draw further escalation, potentially intensified Israeli attacks in or around Beirut itself. What we know for now, it was a surface-to-surface missile that was intercepted in Israel, but Israel has a very sophisticated early alert system which set off sirens in Tel Aviv and a city north of Tel Aviv, indicating that was the intended target. Heretofore, Hezbollah had not tried to attack what is Israel's commercial capital, effectively this coastal metropolis. There were unwritten rules demarcating even the surge of the conflict to Haifa port in the north, surrounding towns, and mostly southern Lebanon with a couple of what Israel described as precision strikes in Beirut. We may now see that situation change entirely.
Dan, what are people in Israel, what is the Israeli military saying about the possibility of a ground offensive? I know this question has been put to many officials in the last few days, but what are you hearing and what are you sensing on the ground? Is this a possibility, a real possibility of a ground offensive into Lebanon?
Israel is certainly signaling that it's possible. Keep in mind that this Israeli offensive, or actually an Israeli counteroffensive in Lebanon, has been in the works since October 8th. When Hezbollah started attacking Israel in solidarity with Hamas, Hamas being the Palestinian group that rules Gaza, and attacked Israel the day before launching the ongoing Gaza war. So the Israelis have had months to prepare this. They've clearly had very sophisticated intelligence in Lebanon that have allowed them a range of attacks, standoff attacks, over the last week. However, their approach, as stated by the Israeli ambassador to the UN, is they will do what is necessary to end the Hezbollah threat, not just in terms of missile capabilities held by Hezbollah, but the Hezbollah presence near the Lebanon border with Israel. So the Israeli signaling is, if Hezbollah does not cease and desist, they can go in on the ground. The Israeli defense minister inspected troops yesterday who are actually simulating combat in Lebanon. I don't think there's any appetite in Israel for a full second front to the Gaza war. Clearly, invading Lebanon would be a very different story to invading Gaza. It's bigger, Hezbollah is very much battle tested from the fighting in Syria over the last decade. And also Israel cannot claim to control Lebanon from all sides as it can in Gaza, meaning that presumably Hezbollah would still have open supply lines to regroup and rearm.